I'm just gonna go ahead and jump the gun here and say it. Arch was right. The Capped Crusader is going to be a modern-day, current-year interpretation of the Batman. And hey, we're still a good, 72 hours away from the show's release? Perhaps he could still be wrong. Fat female penguin seems to rather brutally kill off any such doubt. I think we have adequately liquidated any questions as to if this is going to be a current year interpretation, and if there was still a smidgen of hope somewhere living out its dirty, filthy, squalid, much abused life at the back of the Batcave somewhere, I do believe that the voice actress will be slamming a spiked umbrella through it currently by saying that's what's so brilliant about what he's reimagined. Driver told Entertainment Weekly at our Comic-Con video studio earlier in the day. The expansion of this particular character feels so timely. For such a vintage noir show, it is incredibly modern. Yeah, I imagine it is incredibly modern. That is, in fact, precisely what I was fearing. That is the manifestation of all of my worries right there. That you would have a very modern take on the Batman. And hey, here we are. See, the vintage, it's such a vintage noir show. See, you may flay Batman, you may wear his bloodied cape and cowl as the literal skin suit that it is at this point and go, look at me, I'm from the 40s. But if you've got a female Cobblepot, if you've got a black police commissioner who could not at this point enter Gotham Police Station without multiple being thrown at him every time he so much as blinked, if you have Harley Quinn without the Joker, you are not vintage. You are not noir. You are using these terms as a smokescreen in the hopes that people won't actually look into anything, that they won't actually open their eyes and go, hold on, is that a fat female penguin I see there? And hold on, one more excuse-moi momento. Did you give the fat, evil, capitalist, money-grubbing penguin a hooked nose? I feel as if we're perpetuating some negative stereotypes here, but hey, that's just me. God, that's so... You see, okay, here's the thing, right? It was always a massive... This is one of the things that people often complain about Batman, right? It is always a massive stretch that Batman would find any challenge whatsoever in fighting Cobblepot, a fat, corpulent little midget whose only weapon is a stabby umbrella. Like, in any scenario, Batman should punch them once, knock them out on the deck, laugh at them, and go, that was very stupid of you to fight me. The same way that he would usually humiliate Joker and the majority of his non-superpowered opponents. For this now to be a fat, corpulent woman wielding a umbrella, which I feel doesn't really flatter the character as much as you might think, this is not a fight. This is not a contest. Even assume, okay, let's make the absurd assumption here that somehow female Cobblepot is an improvement on the character. Let us assume that female Cobblepot singing jazz is an improvement on the character, right? From a Mr. Zero to Mr. Freeze level improvement. Let us assume this. If that is the case, it is still going to ruin one's suspense of disbelief if the mother-humping Batman has a trouble defeating them in hand-to-hand combat. Look at this picture. It's like the Batman struggling. Oh my god, you're so strong. I can't simply just use my 20 years of honing my body to the peak of physical perfection to yonk this out of your little goddamn bat arms and beat you over the head with it. wielding a deadly umbrella. There was a trailer as well from the Capped Crusader, which showed up some of the voice acting for Batman, and it's not bad. I'm not going to say it's bad, but it feels like the voice actor tries a little bit too hard to recapture the glory days of the animated series with his voice acting, right? And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't think anybody can actually fully recapture that, and so trying is gonna make it feel a bit off. See, here's the thing. I don't think this can succeed now. I genuinely am feeling bold enough to say that this is probably going to be kind of awful, because if you have something as amazing as the animated series, and then you begin changing it in radical ways that make no sense like this, for no other reason than the current year, I would love to see the non-current year explanation for female Penguin. Please, I am very excited to know it. I'm actually kind of interested now to see if the show even mentions it. I very much so doubt it. Or Asian Harley Quinn without the Joker, or Black Commissioner Gordon. All of these are current year changes for expressly political ideas. This is not going to make Batman better. It is only going to make Batman worse. I do not think there is any conceivable possibility that this could make Batman better. And the worst part as well is that this is going to be a bit of a flagship return for the character. This is going to be a bit of a make or break probably, as Batman has been, well, trashed repeatedly throughout his cinematic history for quite some time now. The DC animated universe has been dead for a very long time, and the current re-release imagined version under James Gunn is not going to work out very well, I imagine, and this is not going to be it either, as yet again, for the umpteenth humpin' time, DC is making the same error again. Previous video I did literally today, Deadpool and Wolverine. That is Marvel seeing, oh boy, so, are you telling me that if we simply make two superheroes do superhero stuff, people will give us the largest R-rated opening in history? They will throw a couple $100 million at us right off the bat for an R-rated movie? Holy shit, I guess we're gonna do more of that. Meanwhile, DC has finally arrived at the point of, there's an enormous diverse audience out there. If only we make our stuff woker, people will finally love us again. DC has arrived at the point that Marvel abandoned about 10 years ago, probably. DC has finally arrived at the point that Disney was sitting on half a decade ago. God damn it, DC. One wonders how this keeps happening. How can DC be so continuously behind the ball, so far behind the ball? Hell, at this point, they can't even see the ball. They're not even playing the same game as their competitors anymore. Everybody else is playing soccer. These motherfuckers are playing goddamn handball and wondering why they keep getting penalized. Hi. DC, for the love of God, stop. Just cease all entertainment production for like a year or two and really sit down and reconsider. And you know what? I'm actually kind of excited for the upcoming Superman movie, which I did not think I would be, because it sounds too much like they're going to do another pseudo-Superman origin, even though they keep saying, oh, it's not an origin story. Okay, how long has Superman been around? We don't want to tell you that. Okay, But it sounds like one of the key plot points will be that most of the superheroes have essentially been corporatized on the LexCorp and have lost their reason for existing. Kind of like they sort of the boyify it, where all the superheroes are corporate stooges who do this as a job. And then in comes Superman and goes, hold on, you shouldn't do this for that. You should be doing this for good reasons. I'm Superman. I am the Boy Scout. I am going to inspire you to do the right thing, even if it is not the smart thing. You know, the exact topic of what I talked about in my video about Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne. As the heroic choice is rarely the easy choice, if ever, and it is very, very, very rarely the intelligent, pragmatical choice. But this... well, I am prepared to eat my words if it somehow turns out to be incredible, but boy, I think I've got a better chance of fitting the entire population of the Indian subcontinent up my nostrils than that happening. I guess we'll wait and see. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope to see you all again soon. Have a good day.